What's up, fellas? In this video, I'm going to discuss some bad habits that hurt your testosterone levels. But before I dive in, I want to preface this video by saying that as of this recording, number 1, I am in part-time graduate school. Number 2, I work full-time. Number 3, I coach multiple clients. And number 4, I also practice what I preach when it comes to this health stuff. So as a consequence, I don't have time to do all the fancy retention video editing. You are going to get a lot out of this video if you pay attention, and I'd encourage you to take notes as well. But if you need all the pattern interruptions and the sound effects and the memes and the B-roll footage to stay engaged and pay attention to the video, then you should just go watch Mr. Beast or something. Anyways, if you're new here, my name is Ben Richardson. I'm a personal trainer, a certified nutrition coach, and a chemical engineer. For years, I suffered from low testosterone levels in my early 20s, and it took going through a pretty nasty breakup in college to get my life back on track. So I'm here to share what I've learned since then with other men so that they can increase their testosterone levels naturally just like I did. And I do post weekly, so make sure you subscribe so that you're not missing out. It doesn't take much digging to figure out the basics of how to increase your testosterone levels naturally. Lots of people, including myself, have made many informative videos on what to focus on, but what about the common habits that could be hurting your testosterone levels? Habits are obviously things that you do on a regular basis, so learning about the things that could be lowering your testosterone levels and working on eliminating them from your routine, this can also make a massive impact on your health. So let's go ahead and talk about some habits that could be hindering your optimal testosterone output. First and foremost, number 1 is eating too much junk food. Seems like a pretty obvious one, but I'm gonna dive deeper into what I mean by junk food, because you're probably consuming more junk food than you realize. The obvious ones are things like store-bought pastries and desserts that are loaded with tons of sugar and processed oils, things like cake snacks, cookies, potato chips, really almost any kind of chip that comes in a bag, ice cream flavors that are filled with chocolate candies and brownie pieces, fudge, caramel swirls, peanut butter, chunks of cookies, and then things like donuts and muffins. I'd say these are pretty obvious junk foods. These are foods that your parents kind of told you not to eat when you were a kid, you know, because sugar's bad for you. You're a grown man now, so you don't need mommy and daddy to tell you not to stuff your face with cosmic brownies. But the less obvious foods are things like restaurant foods. So here's the thing about restaurants. They care a lot about making money because that's how they stay in business. And as a consequence, if they have to choose between cooking their food in crappy oils that cost them $2 versus high quality fats that cost $10, which one do you think that they're gonna choose? Not all restaurants are like this, but if you go out to your typical dine-in joint, odds are they're using cheap ingredients to make your food. Even if you get something that you're convinced is healthy, like a chicken salad or a turkey sandwich. The one that always makes me laugh is the fish and chips. Oh yeah, well, you know, I'm eating healthy, so I'm gonna get the fish and chips. If fried battered fish with fried potatoes is healthy eating in your book, then I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could crush some fish and chips every once in a while, but I at least acknowledge what I am doing to myself. I'm not gonna fool myself into thinking that I'm sticking to a healthy diet by ordering the fish and chips. Anyways, fast food and chain restaurants, they do serve junk food. It's junk food. They use cheap, low-quality ingredients and, you know, fat chance that anything is fresh, it's all frozen, and it's filled and covered with preservative chemicals. So my advice to you is to stop eating out so much. Learn how to cook your own food. Like I said before, you are a grown man. Go buy some steak and learn how to cook it. Go buy some potatoes and learn how to bake them. Go buy some eggs and learn how to scramble them or boil them. You don't need to become freaking Chef Gordon Ramsay here, but you should know the fundamentals of cooking. You want the honest truth about improving your testosterone levels? It's gonna take some hard work. It's gonna take effort, and it's gonna take discipline on your part. It may be easier or more convenient to just DoorDash a burger or a sandwich to your place, but the produce they're using at those restaurants to make your food is garbage. So cut back on the junk food. If you need more information about what food is junk food, then I would go check out this video once you're done watching this one. Bad habit number 2 is keeping your phone in your pocket. Here's the thing, man. Men used to have way higher testosterone levels 50 years ago than they did today. And part of the reason is that they weren't surrounded by all this technology that actually disturbs hormonal signaling in our bodies. frequencies. Turns out the electromagnetic frequencies used by cell phones to communicate with towers can interfere with the testosterone production that takes place in your balls. I used to have this horrible habit of keeping my phone between my legs while I was driving, and little did I know that the electromagnetic frequencies were affecting the biochemical reactions taking place in the laid egg cells in my balls. But not keeping your phone between your legs isn't enough. Keeping your phone in your pocket is still close enough to your balls that it still interferes with the testosterone production, because you probably carry your cell phone with you all day, every day. And obviously that is going to make an impact over the course of weeks, months, and God forbid, even years. So get out of this habit. Just carry your phone in your hand and put it down any opportunity that you get. Get out of the habit of sticking it in your pocket. And if you do have to keep it in your pocket, then at least put it on airplane mode. This also applies to laptops as well. I know not putting your laptop on your lap kind of defeats the purpose of calling it a laptop, but all the heat radiating from your laptop paired with the device communicating with the Wi-Fi router via electromagnetic radiation, this does interfere with testosterone production, especially if you're sitting on the couch for several hours working on your laptop. So stop walking around everywhere with your phone in your pocket, and stop working on your laptop with it just sitting right on your legs, right beside your balls. Most people in our modern society are just absolutely glued to their phones, so it's no wonder so many men are suffering from suboptimal testosterone levels. Nasty habit number 3 is using synthetic materials. A fundamental property of polymer materials like plastics, Teflon, polyester, nylon, and spandex, just to name a few, is that they will break down when exposed to heat and in some cases electromagnetic radiation. When these materials break down and enter your system, they act as endocrine disruptors because they closely resemble certain hormones that your body recognizes as hormones. So for example, let's say you're cutting an onion on a plastic cutting board. As you cut the onion, you'll physically cut into the plastic cutting board, which will cause little pieces of plastic to leach into the onion. And then when you eat that onion, you are ingesting those small plastic pieces. Depending on the molecular structure of the plastic, your body might think that those plastic molecules are, let's say, estrogen. And it could be any hormone really, but let's just say in this case, that plastic molecule resembles estrogen because it has a similar structure to estrogen. So as a consequence, the natural hormonal balance of your system is going to be thrown off because of these synthetic materials floating around in your system. And that's just one of many examples. This happens when you drink out of plastic bottles, especially when they're heated. So if a plastic bottle has been sitting out in the sun on a hot day, that material is going to break down and it's going to leach into the water, so you'd literally be drinking traces of plastic in that water. This also happens if you sit in the sauna and drink water out of a plastic water bottle. That's one that I see a lot. Also, never wear polyester, nylon, or spandex underwear in the sauna either, because you're heating the material up and it's making direct contact with your balls. And if you aren't aware, testosterone production primarily takes place in your gonads. So you don't want any chemicals leaching straight into your balls. This can also happen when you heat food stored in plastic in the microwave. Never ever heat plastic up in the microwave. I personally don't even own a microwave because it just feels like such an unnatural way of cooking things to me. But anyway, I won't get into that here. If you do use the microwave, never put anything, any kind of plastic material in it, even if it says microwave safe. Like I said, it is a fundamental property of all polymer materials that they will break down in the presence of heat and electromagnetic radiation. There might be some threshold that a material has to be in to be categorized as microwave safe, but I promise you that it is going to break down and leach into the food that you eat to some degree. So just use ceramic or glass if you're going to heat anything in the microwave, or just never use the microwave to cook. Plastic cooking utensils or non-stick pots and pans are also a big culprit of endocrine disruptors. Let's say you use a plastic spoon to stir up food while you're cooking. You may have guessed it by now, but you are exposing that plastic spoon to heat. And by the way, this this is a double whammy here if you're using some kind of non-stick pan to cook in, because the non-stick pans have polymer films in the coating. So either way, this is a source of endocrine disruptor exposure because those polymers are heated, broken down, and absorbed by the food that you are going to consume. So one last thing I'll talk about is plastic bottles or containers. Just throw away all of your Tupperware and replace them with glass or metal containers to store food in. Don't use plastic water bottles for any kind of liquids, just switch to using glass or stainless steel. They'll last way longer too, and you can wash them safely in the dishwasher, unlike plastics, because again, there's that element of heat from the dishwasher that breaks the material down. Hopefully you've gotten the point drilled into your head by now that anytime you touch some kind of plastic material that has been exposed to heat, you risk absorbing an endocrine disrupting chemical into your body through your skin. Now, it's practically impossible to avoid this entirely because these materials plague our modern society. But do your best to cut back on your exposure to these chemicals and your testosterone levels will thank you. Next up, nasty habit number 4 is getting drunk. I would say this one applies to drinking in general, but the more you drink, the lower your testosterone. And that means both frequency and amount, by the way. So for instance, if you get absolutely obliterated at the bar once per week, you are drinking a large amount of alcohol in one night. But you could also drink frequently, meaning that you only drink 2 or 3 beers, but you do it 4 or 5 nights per week. So don't think of one as being worse or better than the other because they're both bad. It takes about 2 or 3 days for your testosterone levels to increase back to baseline after you've had 3 or 4 drinks, by the way. Even after only having 1 drink, it takes a whole day for your testosterone levels to return to baseline. Now, let the record show that I do not consider myself a person who completely avoids alcohol and never enjoys a few drinks, but I do manage my intake and I don't get trashed at bars or clubs. I'd much rather just chill with some friends and family while sipping on beer, grilling some steak, watching some TV, or playing some cards. There's no need to slam 13 beers to have a good time. If your go-to weekend plans with your friends is to go out to bars on the weekends in hopes of finding love in a mentally clouded state, I would highly encourage you to get out of this phase in your life. And I'm also speaking from experience here. I did that a lot when I was in college. In fact, I was in such a bad state of health back then that I felt like I needed alcohol in my system to go out and have fun. The truth is that going out like that is very hard on your body, it's hard on you mentally, and it's just not fulfilling. I don't think there's too much harm in having a couple of drinks when you hang out with people, but just drink responsibly. It's better for your health, it's better for your headspace, and it's not going to leave you feeling like crap the next day. So there you have it. These are some common habits that you want to eliminate to boost your testosterone levels naturally. Eliminating these habits is a great way to increase your testosterone levels, but you also need to incorporate an appropriate amount of strength training into your life if you want to maximize your testosterone potential. So if you need some kind of tips on that, then I would go and check out this video next on how to increase testosterone with exercise. And if you need even more support than that to hit your goals, then hit the link below in the pinned comment and apply for my coaching program. I can help you replace all of your bad habits with good ones that'll help you increase your testosterone levels so that you feel like a freaking beast of a man. Increasing your testosterone levels is going to give you more energy, more confidence, more masculine drive, and it's going to bring back that mojo that you felt when you were younger. It really is the key to truly unlocking that raw masculine vitality that is embedded in your DNA as a man. So if you're interested, fill out the quick form. It only takes like 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'll reach out to set up a quick Zoom call with you so that we can chat about how I can help. So I hope to hear from you soon. But that's all for this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And again, if you're new here and you've made it this far, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel as well. Let me know what you thought about the video down in the comments below. I always love hearing from you guys. And it does help me make the kind of content that you want to see when I hear from you directly. So don't be a stranger. If you made it to the end, I do appreciate the support and I hope you got a ton out of this video too. Good luck in all of your efforts to boost testosterone naturally. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.